Today, I'm going to start with a new operating system that some of us might not have heard of. It seems to be gaining popularity, even though it is discontinued, and it is the BeOS. Now, just as for a little history here, the BeOS began development in 1991, first written to run on BeBox hardware. Um, However, it was initially designed to run on AT&T Hobbit-based hardware, and as we know, the AT&T Hobbit was a special kind of computer back then. Uh, Actually, not really a computer, more of a microprocessor using the CRISP instruction set, which is C language reduced instruction set processor. Um, and going on through it was actually in '97 when Apple found themselves in a downfall. The BeOS was an option, um, and at the time, the owner of the CEO, Jean-Louis Gaza, wanted 200 million to market to give Apple the operating system, and Apple was willing to offer no more than 125 million, and that's kind of when Apple decided that Next Step was a better choice, and of course Steve Jobs come back. Um, Something special about the BeOS was it was made in a i386 version or Intel version and a PowerPC version. And this was, I mean, it marketed. I ain't gonna say well. It didn't market well at all. I'm gonna be honest, but it had potential. And honest opinion, I think it kind of failed simply because it was too far ahead of its time. Um, and going on here, something neat that I had was a thing called Internet Appliances, or BIA, and it was kind of the transition over from operating system to Internet revolution. After Due to Apple's moves and stuff, the BeOS was simply just ported to the Intel x86 platform with the R3 release, and R3 simply meaning release and the number of that release. I'm going to show you some screenshots of the BeOS, and then in the next video I'm going to show you exactly what the BeOS looks like and how to install it. So see right here is the BeOS intro screen. After you install, you will see this on your first run. An empty desktop. You'll notice in R4 actually it had a menu bar similar to that of the Mac OS, and it seems like they started to put kind of, I ain't gonna say your menu bar, but your taskbar in sorts over here to the right hand side of the desktop, which it could be moved. Um, here's a desktop with some applications. As you see, the BeOS was truly a multimedia internet operating system, uh, simply showing it had a bunch of really cool 3D things. I mean, it had some charts to test frames per second. It had load meters and just a thing called pulse, which is where you could actually, in R4 you could actually turn up and down your processor, which I thought was really cool. Had notepad, or didn't have notepad. Had text edit. This is the text editor in BeOS. Nothing really special. This is the clock. Again, nothing special at all. Had a media player, CD player, which I ain't gonna say was revolutionary because almost every operating system at the time had a CD player, but it was neat. But one thing you didn't find on a lot of operating systems was a full-scale mixer, which you could find in the BeOS. Of course, the sound recorder. And their browser was actually called Net Positive. And it's Be's own proprietary browser. And I don't know if there's ports to Windows and Mac today. I'm sure maybe if you search around on the internet somewhere you can find it. But it had kind of like a nice little startup page here, just to get you in the right line with the BeOS. Had Bmail, which is remarkably similar to the earlier Apple Mail. Going on here, you had your settings. You had a lot of the settings similar to Windows, except you did have virtual memory settings, which in Windows were kind of hard to find. They are there, but they're hard to find. And the BeOS is really straightforward. Backgrounds, scroll bars. I mean, you could. This right here, I must say, is the most customizable GUI there is. Screensavers. I'll show you more of that once we get into the operating system. Excuse me. Continuing on, had the application manager was actually the BeOS button, and going on down, running the applications, and the task manager, which was actually called Team Monitor. It had its own help system, search, trash can, no run. It did have a command prompt, which is actually more of a terminal, like you'd see in the Mac OS. The welcome splash. See if I can find a picture of the login screen. Okay, that's a completely different operating system. Allow me to go back. The shutting down the operating system, and shutdown complete. There was no ACPI in the BeOS, so meaning that you had to actually manually shut down your computer. Here's some install screenshots, and I'll actually go through the install with you, but here's of course the about the BeOS page. And that will conclude this part of the video. The next video will be about installing. I'll show you installing the BeOS, what it is today, and in the follow-up video from that, I'm going to show you the next part of the BeOS. So, until next time, guys, this has been Marcus Richards on behalf of Big Variety of Vids. We'll see you later.